I was like 9 years old. When Second World War, you know, started, the Russians, they came to our farm and with rifles, and they said, you have to leave your house and your property and take some you know, like clothes, and what else could you take? Just clothes and maybe like sheets and
A bunny rabbit?
no, and then blankets.
No, your little doll with the wood chips.
What?
Right?
Wow.
Pickle Rick.
Yes, but I don't remember that if I took that with me.
You did. You told me. See, this is why I wanted to record you now. 'Cause you're
We did.
forgetting.
We did have that in Poland, you know, because there was nothing better, you know.
So how old were you? 9.
9. And they brought us, it was winter time, and horses, and we had sleds, so they put us on a sled, and they said to go to the station, railroad station. And they did, so they put us on the train, and my family that lived around, because all the people, not everybody, but most of the people were taken to Russia, to Siberia. The name of the place where we lived for almost 2 years was the name of Monastyrok. Monastyrok, that was English, not English, Russian town.
Spooky.
And we lived there, and my father and my uncles and my, you know, I don't know, that's it. Okay. They were taken to the army, to the Polish army. And we lived there. They gave us a little piece of land, and we could plant like
In what, Siberia?
Yeah, vegetables. And so we did mostly potatoes and
That's why she makes pierogis.
yeah, and that's all I remember. But my grandfather, he was too old, so he wasn't taken. And my oldest brother, they used to work, like there was a river next to, you know, where we lived, and they used to go and work, like they used to cut down trees, big trees, and they used to put them on the river. That's what they were doing. And he was like really young. He was only like 14, I think, or 13, and he was already working because he was making money for us to buy bread. And my grandfather, he was working, and he lay down on the cold, like on the cold ground, and I guess he like caught some kind of a, you know, przeziębił się, how you say?
Disease?
No disease. From laying on
Hypothermia.
right, something, you know, and he passed away. He died in Russia. My grandfather, and his youngest daughter, that means my mother's youngest sister, she died in Russia. And my mother she was pregnant, and she had a little boy.
Yeah.
And he was 6 months old, and this was already when we were leaving Russia, but it was still in Russia, Tashkent, the name of the, you know, place. He passed away there, and we had to bury him over there. And so we scattered already.
Why
here.
are there sound effects?
Huh?
Because it's sad.
Yes, it is sad, you know. But then we like kept going from there. We came to Uzbekistan, and we lived there for 6 months,
Uzbekistan you lived since when?
When I was like probably
Nah,
10.
never heard that story before.
Yes, Sami.
Nope.
Uzbekistan. We lived there for 6 months.
Okay, continue.
And my aunt, because she was with us over there too, and my grandmother, and she had a little girl. She was 12 years old, and she died there too. You know, so okay, from there we had to keep going because they were taking us all the way to Africa, to South Africa.
Yeah.
So from there we like went to Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan. We spent 3 months there, and I remember because we were hungry, we had to go and work, and I, as a child, I had to go, and we used to pick cotton. You know, they gave us a bag and gloves, and because that's prickly, and you just pull out the cotton from, and you like go put in the bag.
Yeah.
And so from there we went to, we had to go, how we got there, you know, my mother, she was, when we were in Uzbekistan, she was sick, and we needed something, you know, because we could walk, we were older, but she was sick, she needed a ride. So from the Uzbekistan people, they gave us a donkey, and my mother was sitting on a donkey, and my youngest brother, he was probably 3, because he was born just before the war. So, and he was sitting with her on the donkey till we came to this town, but I don't remember, not town, but there were like some houses there. And from there, the man, he knew where we were. We told him where we wanted to go from there. So when we lived in Uzbekistan, after they, like in the summer, after they cut, how you say, wheat, we used to go on the field and pick all the wheat that fell on the ground, and we like, how you say, Sammy?
What? Bake?
We had to get like the grain, just the grain, you know, and we took it to the mill, you know, where they go and they like grind the stuff and make flour. Yes. So we had that flour with us, and when we came to the town, you know, I said already before, because my mother, you know, couldn't ride on the donkey anymore, and this man was going to where we had to go with the big truck. We gave him all the flour for that, and he put us on top of the truck, and he drove us for a while, you know, till we came, I forgot the name, where that was, but I remember the Polish army was there, and we saw one of my uncles there, and that's it. From there, we went on the train, and we got, okay, train, oh, I forgot already. Oh, yeah, okay.
Train, car, rabbit, donkey, same thing.
From there, we had to go to Persia,
Yes.
to
Okay.
Tehran.
Oh my God, Nick.
And
You went to Persia too? Jesus.
in Persia, we were there like 3 months, because me and my oldest brother, we caught
Tuberculosis.
no.
What?
We had all kind of diseases over there, you know.
Yeah.
I remember at night I couldn't see because they called this Sammy. They used to put like this, like Vaseline, something in the eyes, you
Yeah.
know. It was a sickness,
Wonderful,
you know, because we couldn't get washed. We
You
couldn't,
said
you know.
Babci.
Everybody had lice that time,
Yeah.
you know. So when they brought us to Persia, to Tehran,
She's in the ankle
they
so bad.
they told us we have to, everybody, kids and grown-ups, everybody, they had this big room and they had showers over there. So, and they took us there and they said, we have to shave everybody's hair.
They shaved your hair?
Yes, everybody, just to get rid of the lice.
Yeah.
And they did, Sammy. And all the clothes that we had, they put in the pile and they set on fire, and they gave us clothes that probably from United States came over there, whole
Yeah.
pile, Sammy, and we picked
I tried to get it out.
whatever, you know, you could
Like
find
it.
that fits you.
Yeah.
You know, you took, and that's how we got rid of that stuff. you know.
Yeah.
But malaria, me and my older brother, we got malaria in
You got
Persia.
malaria too?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Sammy. I had malaria till we came to Africa. From there, we walked, we went on the boats, we went all kind of different ways. Took us almost a year to go to Africa. Then we got on this, they put us on this big ship,
How far is Ashley's working?
you know, and took a month
To get to Africa?
to get to Africa, because the ship was the one that was delivering. It wasn't a luxury.
Trying to, like, do stuff
It's a luxury big, ship. It was just the one that they like carry stuff, and they had to like leave something here.
Like a cargo ship.
Right, something like that. Then till we came to Africa, to Mombasa. Sami, Mombasa was a port. And from there, they put us on a train and took us all the way to South Africa, to, czekaj, I forgot the name of it.
See, it's I'm recording you. Then you forget what it is.
See,
That's why I want to know now, Babci,
They say-
before you forget. Okay, South Africa, anyway.
Southern Rhodesia. Because that was English, how you say?
Speaking.
Oh, well, they did speak English, but because there were lots of English people living over there in big cities. But we lived in their camp. Those little, I had a picture, Sammy, I had a postcard.
What is it? What is it?
And I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if somebody took Goobs. I think maybe Goobs. You better look and find. Because I can't find it.
Okay, I'll find it.
Sammy,
Insert
those
in the
round huts,
Yeah.
round, you've seen.
Uh-huh.
So well, they gave us one because the whole family. And my grandmother died in Persia, in Tehran. Forgot to say that. But she took care of us like for a long time, She was all right, and she helped because we were little kids. And my mother was like, she was sick all the time, Even when we came to Africa, I remember, she didn't do nothing. I was already like teenager, and I had to wash clothes, I had to like take care of my brothers, and my older brother, he went like, not to the army, but he went away from Africa, and he was, they call it eunuch, I don't know how you say that in English.
I don't know.
Young guys,
Uh-huh.
they were like, and and we lived in Africa. We had a restaurant. They used to cook for us. We used to go and eat, and we had schools, Polish schools, I guess, and I went to school. I don't know if that was like the best school, but you couldn't say nothing, you know.
Yeah.
You just had to go and learn, and that's where I learned English, you know, in Africa.
Hmm.
After, and I went for 2 years of high school, and when we came to England after the war,
Wait, tell about your babysitting, the nanny,
oh,
and that bad story. Everybody has to know.
that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything.
When
Your
I was
whole life, Babci.
when I was 16, you know, I wanted to go make a couple dollars, you know, a couple shillings, shillings,
Shillings.
English shillings. So I went to watch this little girl, and I would stay over there, like, and one time I was watching the little girl. I have a picture. Your mom has picture
Yeah.
from Africa. Me holding the little girl.
Why does
That
she
was
have
from Africa. I was 16. And the husband of the lady came home early, and he was like, I don't know what he was looking for, but he kept chasing me around. He wanted to kiss me and Sammy, old man.
Yeah.
And he, you know, and I was like so scared because I was just like dumb kid that time.
Yeah.
Not like now, you know everything because they teach you in school. They can never teach us nothing over there like that. And I got so scared and I was crying. And then when his wife came home, I said, that's it, I want to go home. That's it. That's all. I don't want to be here no more. And they put me in the car because they had a car that time, and took me back to place where I live.
Good.
That's it, Sammy. That was my experience once.
Yeah. Creepy. Okay. Wait, where were your friends that drowned? Where were they?
Oh, that's after the war when we came from Africa.
Wait, okay, go back to wait.
No,
Was that Africa or was that England?
England. Sammy.
Okay, so tell me when you went to England.
But she was in Africa, you know.
You're so impatient.
We became, I had two friends and me, we were all Helens. 3 Helens.
Helen.
Helena Szychowska and Helena Suchoń. She's the one that drowned. And Helena Niedbała.
That would be Babci.
Yeah.
That's me.
So, Sammy and after the war.
Yeah,
when
tell
the
us
war,
when you met Dziadziu.
No, all the soldiers came to England because England was really helping Polish people.
Yeah.
So we came. It took us a month again to. They put us on the same ship like they did the first time, and drove us to England, and we went like all around Sammy from Mombasa through the Red Sea, you know, Mediterranean Sea, you know, all around and to England. In England, we lived in Wales first. Wales. It was, again, there was a camp, and we had these long, like barracks,
Yeah.
and they gave half to us and half to another family, because they were kind of long. And I was 18 then when I came. So from there, the same, I wanted to work. I didn't want to go to school anymore. So I just finished 2 years of high school.
What?
Nick, what do you think, you know?
Okay, finish. Don't yell at Nick. He's
Sammy.
stupid.
So in England, I went to work again, you know, because there was no jobs. So this rich family, English rich family, they had 2 little girls, and again I became a nanny. And I lived there, during the week. On the weekends, I used to go home because it wasn't far. And they used to have a men's store, like where they were sewing suits, So that's why they had big house and big garden and everything. They were rich.
Yeah.
And in England, anywhere you had to go by bus or by train. So I usually rode the buses. So, and when I used to go on the weekends home, we used to have, after the war, people were so happy that the war ended, and they used to have, everywhere, people were dancing every weekend and having fun, forget about all the bad stuff that happened.
Yeah.
And that's where I met my husband.
Oh.
He used to come,
so
he used
cute.
to come to dance over there. And
Tell us
from there,
about Dziadziu.
I didn't want to, be nanny like forever. So this one Polish lady, I don't know how I found out. Somebody told me that she's looking for Polish girls to go to work to the needle factory in Birmingham. So I left home. I went to the Birmingham. Well, this was like Studley was the name where we lived. From Birmingham, you had to go by bus, I forgot how many miles or whatever. And they had a new needle factory, and they needed new people. So that's where I wound up. We used to live in this, like a hostel, they call it, a building where we had a cook, and we used to pay rent, and she used to cook for us. And that's where I met Bogusha. That's my best friend
Bogusha.
for 50 years. More, even over 50 years. And we became really, really good friends. And after slowly, as I was going to Birmingham, my husband was going.
Babci, tell us more about you meeting Dziadziu. Don't just call him your husband. I want to know the details.
No, well, now he was, okay. When I left, Wednesday Park, from going to the needle factory, how am I going to call him?
Dziadziu.
Dziadziu, okay. Dziadziu,
Jedzie, Joreczko, whatever.
we were riding the same train. He was going to his sister to London, and I had to get off Birmingham. So that was like halfway between, from Wales. And we said bye, and I stayed back, and he went. So, and as I was over there, in Studley working in the needle factory, I called him a few times, but then after, I thought he's too far away, and I'm never gonna see him anymore. And, my best friend, she met Bogusha. She met her husband, and she got married. And I was.
She met Dziadziu in Poland too?
No, not
or
Poland.
England, whatever.
In England, yeah. She was in Africa too, Dziadziu and Bogusha, but she was in Lusaka. She was high a little bit from where we used to be. I can show you on the map.
Yes, but not yet.
Sorry. So, when Bogusha got married, it wasn't the same already, your best friends, but I had to find somebody too. So, I called, like I said.
So you were lonely, so you called Dziadziu.
Yes, and because I had his telephone number, and I said, one time, I said, because I stopped calling him for a while after, you know, because I didn't think I was ever going to see him, you know.
How'd you pick him out?
No, but, okay.
Oh my God.
No, and I had a cousin that lived in London, and I used to write to him, you know, a long time ago everybody used to write letters to one another. And he invited me to come to London. So I said, okay. This was almost like 4 or 5 years,
Clutch.
probably, you know,
Clutch
since I...
movie.
And I went to see him, and I like him in London, you know, and he said, you want to stay in London? I help you find an apartment, and I help you find work. And I did. I left Bogusha,
Oh, Babci.
and I lived in London. But in the beginning, I didn't even think about, you know, Dziadziu. I don't know, because like past few years that I never like got in touch with him or anything. And then all of a sudden I said one time, I have his telephone number. I'm gonna try and call him because, you know, I wanted to find out if he was still living there, and he was. But he wasn't home that time because he was working on Saturday. This was
How'd
Saturday.
you get his phone number? They don't have cell
I-
phones then.
Yes, they did.
They had cell phones?
Not telephone, telephone.
Yeah, so if you called him and he said he wasn't home, he was lying
He
to
didn't
you.
say that.
No.
Oh, someone else answered?
No, Sammy,
Sorry.
somebody else. Sammy, there was only one telephone.
Okay.
All the people that lived in this building, there was
Okay.
like mostly guys,
Same goes he fired.
and you know, and the telephone was in the hallway, and anybody could answer.
Yeah.
So when I rang, you know, somebody picked up, and I asked them where Dziadziu was, and they said he's not home today because he's working. So call him tomorrow, and I did. I called him on Sunday, and
The rest is
he was and he was so happy.
Aww.
And he told me to meet him, you know, and I did. But I was worried because Dziadziu was short.
Yeah.
And I used to wear these high heels. So I come over there and I said, shoes has to go.
Dziadziu told you your shoes have to go?
No, I had
Oh.
to, you know. So,
That's funny.
yeah. So, and his sister came to America first, and he was waiting already because you had to sign your name and wait for your number to come up. And in the meantime, you know, I went with him only for 3 months, and we got married. And because he was coming to America, so after we got married, we came to America.
Tell how you came on the boat.
Oh, Queen Elizabeth, of course.
She flew here.
Queen Elizabeth. Took us like 5 days, and it was a rough, you know, because this was like February. That's when Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
February, right?
Yes.
14. That's when we arrived in America
Yay.
on Valentine's Day. And but I remember when we came like to New York, and it was so foggy, and we wanted to so much to see the Statue of Liberty. And we did. We saw it, but it was foggy. But it was
you cry?
getting morning already, so it's starting to.
Did you cry?
No, not really, but
Not really.
Were you hype?
but it was something just to see the statue,
Yeah.
you know. Who knew? I never thought I was gonna wind up in America.
And now
Just
you
because of
are
Dziadziu, you
here.
know. That's it.
Yes, and then tell about Irvington.
She's not at that
okay.
point yet.
She is. She came to New York and she went to Irvington.
In New York, yes. And I came to Irvington, and we lived in Irvington for his sister, Dziadziu's sister, had they bought a house, 6-family home. So we lived first in 3 rooms. Then somebody moved away, and on the other side they had 4 rooms. So we moved to the 4-room. And we had 3 children over there, 3 daughters,
Oh yeah. What are their names?
Danosha, Gosha, and Isabella. I used to work in the flower store because Dziadziu's sister, she had a flower store. And mostly with her husband, both of us. I worked for 12 years there. Plus, there was a Polish home, like 5 minutes I could walk from my house, not my house, the apartment, to work or even to flower store, you know. And we had Polish school over there, and Polish church, and lots of Polish store, bakeries.
Irvington was so Polish before
It was.
Before it got
It was.
scary.
It was. They were like. Then after living there for 18 years, Dziadziu was a janitor. You know, he used to take care of the house.
Yeah.
Plus he worked. He worked in Newark.
And then he saw a dead body floating down the river.
You're not at that point yet.
Yes, we are.
So I worked for 25 years in Irvington in Polish home as a cook, as a waitress, as a I was head waitress for a long time too.
Ooh.
Because I had to I was running the whole thing, you know. Because the woman that was before me, she quit. She didn't want to work no more, so you know.
Stupid. And then you moved to like Hiawatha.
No, but we bought, after 18 years, we bought a house in Irvington, not too far away too, from Polish home. And we bought 2-family home. We lived upstairs, and downstairs we rented.
Shut up.
To somebody, you know. And just for 6 years we kept the house, and from there we had to move somewhere else. We wanted a better house. So my husband, I usually work on the weekends, but he took the kids and he would go and look, you know, on the weekends, looking for the house. We wanted to really go mostly towards ocean.
Yeah, me too.
South.
You should have.
Sammy, what? But
Pick
you couldn't,
Parsippany. You should have gone to
Sammy,
the
you
beach.
couldn't find anything nice, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know whatever made him come all the way to Parsippany over here, you know. But he did, and he found this wonderful house, only 14 years old, and he wasn't that. The people wanted so much money for a piece of junk. Here was brand new house, 14 years old, Sammy. And ever since then, when we moved here, we living here already, 37 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say you still live here.
And she still lives here.
And what did Dziadziu do when he worked here?
Dziadziu worked almost to the end of his life.
Yeah, no kidding. What did he do?
He was, first he worked in Newark for
Yeah.
30 some years. After he retired,
He
but
was
I
a
had
crossing
family,
guard at my high
but
school.
I had family in Canada. My oldest brother from England,
serious?
he went to Canada.
Uh-huh.
And he got married, and he had 5 kids. We used to go over there, Sammy, every summer.
Yeah.
Look at the sauces.
But then after when my brother died, he died of a heart attack. 52, and he had 5 kids. We stopped going over there that often, like once in a while, but not so often now, particularly, because Amanda's gonna come soon. and Sammy waits.
And then Dziadziu worked as a crossing guard at the high
Yeah,
school.
after he retired,
I want her to tell it.
Yes, because then it's gonna be like sandwiches.
but we used to travel a lot. We've been everywhere. We went across Canada, driving.
Hawaii.
Oh yeah, you traveled everywhere in the world.
Sammy. No,
She told me
here,
that last
yeah,
week. In the
not
United
only
States.
all over, but here in America, we went.
Yeah.
We went
To
to.
Hawaii.
Wait, Babci, tell about Dziadziu's life, what you know. Like that he worked on the German farm and stuff.
But I don't know really.
Well,
he,
yeah,
he
but-
said a little bit, that he
It's
worked
not
as
his
when he was
Dziadziu.
14, I think. He worked, because he wasn't taken from Poland, but his sister made him leave Poland and go with her, and he went to Germany. And he worked somewhere, he said for a while that was in Poland, I think he worked.
A
Because-
German farm, and then he doesn't
Yeah.
eat corn because that's what they feed to the pigs.
Yes. And then he, during the war, he wasn't in the army, but he was like going here, there, because he was too young.
Yes.
Till he wound up in England too. That's where I met him.
Yay! Okay.
And
Anything else?
and here, Sammy, he worked. He was sick for a long time because stupid Dr. Poon.
Dr. Poon, if you're listening to this,
Yeah,
Babci
yeah.
hates you.
Gotta get Dr.
Our whole
Food.
family hates you, Dr. Poon.
Because Sammy, because I didn't even think.
That's
That-
for you, Dr. Poon.
Tinkerbell or Tink?
No,
Tink Town, Tink Town.
I didn't think that taking, a blood thinner and baby aspirin, and he was anemic. He never
Yeah.
was anemic.
Because
Before-
Dr. Poon is stupid and killed him. But that's for
Yes.
that's for another video, Babci.
Well, anyways.
What?
No, and he got a heart attack when he was painting. up
Oh
here.
yeah.
Sammy,
Who saved his life?
your father. Your dad, because they were living
That's
downstairs.
right. My dad saved Dziadziu's life. Even though,
Because he was downstairs.
even though everybody
They,
thought
they
Dad was a
lived
bad guy.
downstairs, and this happened in like 7:30, I think, in the evening, and your dad was home, and they say, I didn't say, in there, because he was washing those crystals over there on the
Yeah.
light, and one fell, Sammy, one fell on the floor, and he got down, because he could have killed himself,
Yeah.
Sammy, if he was on top
Yeah.
of he was hanging them up. Sammy, he was hanging them up, and the ladder was there, the 6 feet ladder over there. It was open like that.
Uh-huh.
There's no room. And so when I saw him fall, and thank God we were all home,
Yeah.
I had to move the ladder because you couldn't, he fell like his head was going down the stairs, the way he fell. I had to move that, and in the meantime, your father was here, and he, we called for emergency, whatever, 911,
Yeah.
and they told him what to do, and he did.
Yep. Dad's good at.
Yeah.
Dad's good in pressure situations.
Yeah.
He acts
And
quickly.
of course, he went to the hospital. He had a heart attack. He had, after that, he lived almost 20 years after the heart attack. But he had a pacemaker.
He worked till he was 86 years old
Yes.
as a crossing guard.
And
For
he
Sippany High
worked.
School.
When he retired, when he retired, he always kept saying he wants to go to Australia and to Alaska. And when he retired, I retired too, even though I wasn't 65 yet.
Puppy!
But,
You can do that.
I was 63. And we took a
Damn.
ride to Alaska, me and my husband.
I remember
Yes,
that.
Dziadziu.
story.
Yes. So
Yay!
but we never made it to
Australia.
Australia.
That's okay. Maybe Dziadziu's there now.
She just gave up on
He's
that.
in heaven in Australia.
Babci's there, I'm like,
Okay. Yay! Anything else you want to add, Babci, to this crazy wild story video?
Yes,
thing.
tell him where he's buried.
Oh, yeah, keep going.
Okay. He never wanted to. I wanted to buy a plot, so when we die, the kids don't have to pay, have to pay. I want to pay myself
Uh-huh.
for the grave and everything. But instead of going in the cemetery, like in the ground, we went and I bought, when he was still alive, I bought a place in the mausoleum.
They get buried.
Yeah.
Mausoleum.
Mausoleum.
Yes. So,
Yes.
and that's where we. And I had a brother in England that died, and
on the Dziadziu.
I had to go and bury him. So my kids said, "Why don't you cremate him?" And because he had nobody, he never married,
Yeah.
and he wanted, and I brought his ashes to America, and he's buried with my husband, with Dziadziu, and when I die, I'm gonna be cremated, and I'm gonna be with them.
Yes. When I die, I'm gonna have all my animals cremated, and they're gonna be with me.
Okay.
People are only gonna go visit your
Is that it, Babci?
I guess I don't know.
And then the years passed, and then 1996, your favorite granddaughter was born.
Yeah. Yes.
No, that was probably the worst day of her life.
She goes, yeah, yes.
Babci, who's your favorite granddaughter? Be honest.
You're all the same. There's nobody.
Uh-huh.
I love you.
Uh-huh.
Her number one
I
is
love
Vans.
all of you.
Mm-hmm.
See, I was born like around here, somewhere. But I was looking for the name of the place, it was Goleshów, but you can't find. And Bogusia was born, Powińskie, Bogusia was from here somewhere.
Uh-huh. And where was Dziadziu from?
Dziadziu was from Łódź.
Oh, Łódź, whatever.
Łódź is, I think it's Warsaw, Łódź.
Why is
I
it
thought-
pronounced like that? It's spelled L-O-D-Z. Why is it pronounced Łódź?
Because it's Polish.
He was somewhere over here, Rzeszów. That's where my father was from here too.
Yeah.
Rzeszów, and he was in Africa.
Yeah.
It's over here.
Oh,
see?
yeah, you circled
Oh,
it.
Bulawayo, that was the town that we used to go, So Zimbabwe is now, but that time was like bigger. See?
Where
Mo-
was that?
Mo-
Oh, Mumbai.
but that's where we stopped over there with the boat, with the ship. How you say not
Yeah.
boat?
So all the places
So
you circled.
this is Arhangels. That's where I caught was, That's where I was.
Uh-huh.
Caught. This is where my brother died. Tashkent, remember? Krasnovodsk. I remember being there. Tehran. Ahvaz. This is where we got on the ship to go this way. I guess, to Africa. Or maybe, I don't remember when we went.
Yeah.
But going to England, we went this way, some in the Red Sea over here, this way like that, Morocco, and to England, yeah.
You went all the way around? Jesus.